After Resident Evil 4 received a very successful remake in 2023, another classic in the survival horror genre got a remake as well in 2024, Silent Hill 2. The original from 2001 was completely renewed not only in terms of graphics but also in terms of gameplay, and the big question is this remake a success? And if you have already seen my top 10 video of 2024 earlier this year, then you actually already know. But if that's not the case, let me tell you here. And then go check out that top 10 video.
What's a little girl like you doing here anyway?
In Silent Hill 2 you play as James Sunderland, a widower whose wife Mary died from an illness 3 years ago. However, James has recently received a letter from his wife stating that she wants to meet him in Silent Hill, a quiet town where they have been together before.
Mary. Could you really be in this town?
Despite knowing very well that Mary has been dead for a long time, he cannot resist as a grieving husband to travel there and search for her. Once there, he soon notices that something is going on. The town is almost deserted and there are strange monsters hanging around. He also meets a handful of people who have their own problems in Silent Hill, and instead of turning around straight away, you still go and investigate, in search of the events in the town and the truth about your wife. And that's the premise of Silent Hill in a nutshell, where in addition to the town itself, you also visit a few larger buildings that you can consider as the main levels. Think of the apartment complex, the hospital, and the hotel. Apart from the fact that the locations already give you the creeps, the whole atmosphere does that in this game as well as the storyline that is full of psychological horror that is really great. The game really relies on that. The different characters are also brilliant, and I'm not just talking about the infamous enemies like Pyramid Head. No, I'm also talking about characters like Eddie, who also give you the creeps, and he also reminds you a little bit of the psychos from a game like Dead Rising.
You can't just kill someone because the way they looked at you.
And by the way, James is also borderline psycho, I think, because I don't know a normal human being who sticks his hands up to his shoulder in filthy holes or toilets as often as James does. But hey, if that's your thing, who am I to judge?
I found something!
The gameplay is pretty standard third-person survival horror gameplay with the necessary combat, exploration, backtracking, puzzles and resource management. It doesn't do anything that new, but what it does very well. The combat works very well, and although you will fire the necessary bullets with your pistol, shotgun and later a rifle, you will mainly have to rely on the melee combat.
Already dead.
First with a wooden 2x4 and nails, and later with an iron bar. Bullets and things to restore your health are quite scarce, but if you're a bit practiced at the melee combat, you'll soon have quite a few bullets left. I didn't really have any fear that I would run out of resources because of it. And the melee combat takes some getting used to, especially because James moves as sluggish as thick shit in a funnel, and the enemies can sometimes be a bit unpredictable, but it's perfectly doable. The puzzles and explorations are also super cool, with awesome puzzles that makes the levels feel like some sort of escape room. Bit by bit you unlock new rooms that then contain something that you can do something with in another room, and that's how you slowly but steady clear the levels. And that remains fun to do, partly because of the psychological horror that the game really excels in. It keeps you playing with tension. The game really relies on that, but Silent Hill 2 also absolutely loves a big jump scare every now and then.
Surprise, motherfucker!
However, you do notice in this exploring and backtracking that it's an old game. Some things have not been addressed in it. These are minor irritation points, for example that a container must be placed with exact precision, otherwise you cannot climb on it. Not necessarily modern, but not super bad either. The game actually doesn't have a lot of downsides, or you have to count the glitches where enemies can get completely stuck.
Oh my god, stop, bro, I'm stuck!
And I can also be very brief about the presentation. It is extremely good. The music, the atmosphere and especially the graphics are of an extremely high level. Especially on the PC with all the RTX effects, its reflections in the water are beautiful. The well-known mist is done better than ever and it keeps you constantly in suspense as enemies can always appear from it. And can we take a moment of appreciation that Bloober Team actually succeeded in having mirror reflections done well. I'm really a sucker for those kind of details in games. In any case, everything in terms of voice acting and motion capturing in this remake is really superb, which really makes the cutscenes of an extremely high level. Other cool details include the color of the letters in the menu that indicate your health status. Graphically, it is well done, although I have to say I did encounter some graphical bugs in some parts.
Hey, that really sucked!
Silent Hill 2 is a fantastic game. Whether you have played the original or not, this remake is always worth it. That is why I give the Silent Hill 2 remake a 9. This is really a must play for everyone, especially fans of the genre. And that brings us to the end of this review. What did you think of the Silent Hill 2 remake? Let me know in the comments and don't forget to like and subscribe if you like this video. And if you want to see live gameplay, you can go to Twitch, twitch.tv/gameplayofjay, and don't forget to follow there too. For more content, check the suggestions on the left or the channel on the right. And for now, thanks for watching. See you in the next video. Bye.